Reshaping Masculinity with Doug Emhoff. I believe that's his name. Let's take a look at this.
And Zaki interviewing Kamala Harris's husband, Doug, may make you nauseous.
Important part, an interesting part of how people have talked about your role here is how your role has reshaped the perception of masculinity. And I'm not sure you planned on that, but you are an incredibly supportive spouse. Has that been an evolution for you? And do you think that's part of the role you might play as first gentleman?
Is he the first supportive spouse? Like, is he the first supportive husband? Supportive. It just sounds weird. It's like they try to make it seem that if you're not an emasculated goofball type of man who looks soft, doesn't look like he works out, doesn't look like if you're all those things, that you're the definition of masculinity, the new definition of masculinity, and even above all those things, that if you're not those things, then people are going to look at you as if you're just toxic. So if you are those things, that's the only way that you can be a supportive spouse. If you have to be an emasculated man who's like I just said, kind of goofy looking, moves like goofy, just kind of like I'm just here with my wife. Like that's the only way to support your wife. As if that to me, it's just completely misleading. But people lean into it. People lean into it, just like people leaned into the toxic masculinity conversation. I bring up this combo all the time. It's the only clubhouse that I ever did when I was going back and forth with a whole bunch of people. Some of y'all may be listening right now. Matter of fact, one of them was my bro, Mike Anton Rossi, who's coming out here to Miami this weekend. And it is what it is. That's my brother. And he looks at it a lot differently now, I believe, based on the conversations that we've had and what I see him posting. But it was a conversation where it's like women want you to be vulnerable, be softer, be all these things. Like toxic masculinity is a man just being stubborn and being, it's like, yo, stop it. Y'all want men to be women. And if men are not moving like women, like emasculated men, then we highlight them as toxic. And then whole time they're lifting him up as the new definition of masculinity. But then it comes out something that we're going to look at a little bit later with Chris Cuomo on his show with Stephen A. and Bill O'Reilly. And we hear what we hear about him. But it's just like y'all do so much to highlight these weak, emasculated men as the new masculine. Because why? So they can take a back seat to women. That's why. Remember on the Oprah show, with the Oprah Unite for America with Kamala, there was the Win with Black Women, the organization that organized all those black women 3 hours after Biden dropped out. But then there was also a group led by, I believe his name is Khalil Pearson, Win with Black Men. And we heard how emasculated things that he was saying. And his entire mission is I'm following the lead of black women. And it's like, what, bro? Like, that's not even, I don't know. Like, that's not really what the black women that I speak to are looking for. That doesn't seem like what we need. Black women are actually begging for men to become better leaders so that they can trust them and follow them to be their leaders. So I don't know who these people are trying to appeal to, but it's the political groups, it's the political climate, it's the Democratic Party that is just trying to do anything to emasculate men in order to uplift women. Why? Because they have more. They feel that they can control women more. They feel that, well, these women, we'll put all our eggs in this women basket. Why? Because the women are never going to go over there to the Republicans. We're not going to put all of our eggs in just the black basket. You know what I mean? Because we see now that these black people, they're leaving. So we need to we're going to keep the women, and then we're going to bring in some new migrants. So therefore, they'll be dependent on us.
It's funny. I've started to think a lot about this. I've always been like this. My dad was like this.
You have reshaped the perception of masculinity. She actually said that. Did you circle back to your bucket yet? Just a reminder for those who don't know, this is the same man who was sleeping with the nanny while his first wife was at work. He even got the nanny pregnant. Yeah, that sounds like the type of masculinity every gal craves. Oh. Let's
Wow. Ew, it's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.